Let's see what else makes us crazy. You ready? Go! Apparently mistrusting authority. See, bow down to your leaders. Oh, you don't trust authority? Because authority has done so much for us. It's never been corrupt. There's not a reason that the saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely exists. That's not true. See, you mistrust authority. Endorsing democratic practice. Let's talk about some, hold on, let's talk about some authorities that really have the reason to be mistrusted. There's this whole Irish Catholic Church scandal really breaking out into the mainstream media 50 years later. After all these, boys were beaten, raped, killed, countless thousands, no big deal. Oh, but those were men of God. They were men of authority. We should not mistrust them. You know what? You want to just see something disgusting about the priests. At least not all priests too. I hate to say this, but I mean just this scandal in general I'm talking about. And not even this Irish one. Okay, go check out Deliver Us from Evil. All right? You want to see some sick and twisted stuff? Deliver Us from Evil. I'm recommending it. Go for it. And remember, we're going to have Mark Dice on in the third hour to discuss angels and demons coming up in about 50 minutes. Let's see. Endorsing democratic practices. Oh! You shouldn't endorse people voting? What? It's a constitutional republic here, by the way. Feeling generally suspicious towards others and displaying an inquisitive, imaginative outlook. All right, so I'm not really suspicious towards other people. When I'm out on the street, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean that I'm, Nick Naive. I'm not just going to be like, I'm not going to walk through New York City, go, here's your money, or you just fall for any gag, any pyramid scam out there or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you have to have a certain amount of cynicism in life to get by. Otherwise, you get taken advantage of again and again and again. Now, does this mean that I'm worried about everybody around the corner? No, of course not. I'll give you a handshake. I'll talk to you for a minute. I mean, you're supposed to be able to assess the situation. I mean, this is, don't be inquisitive. Don't ask questions. You have an inquisitive, imaginative outlook. Unbelievable. Often the proof offered as evidence for a conspiracy is not specific to one incident or issue, but is used to justify a general pattern of conspiracy ideas, Swami says. This is somebody we really need on. His conclusion echoes a 1994 proposal by sociologist Ted Gortzel of Rutgers, Camden in New Jersey, after conducting random telephone interviews of 347 New Jersey residents. Gortzel proposed that each of a person's convictions about secret plots serves as evidence for other conspiracy beliefs, bypassing any need for confirming evidence. Oh, I'm going to confirm some evidence if I get this guy on. You better believe it. All right, let's go back to the calls. 866-582-9933. Darryl from Niagara Falls. Darryl, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Hey, it's good to talk to you again. You're doing a great job out there.
Thank you.
Right on. I want to touch quickly on this meeting that an announcement, press conference that was held in Ottawa this morning. Did you hear about this?
No.
With Janet Napolitano. Yeah, Homeland Security.
Yes.
We have a counterpart in Canada. His name's Peter Van Loan. He's our public safety minister.
Okay.
And they had a press conference that I caught on, it's only for about 5 minutes on CNN this morning, of all places. I was quite surprised. And they came out and they were discussing the implementation of this.
The NSA is now merging with the DHS. Is that what you're talking about? And now Canadian and American intelligence forces are also going to be merging to some extent.
Well, it's mostly on border issues. Mm-hmm. It's the U.S. Bill's Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act of 2004. Mm-hmm. And initially it was passed as just after September 11th. They've been working on it steadily, and I'd never heard anything about it.
Mm-hmm. And well, it's really to harmonize for a North American Union. I mean, look who they just nominated for the Supreme Court. They just nominated someone who's on the council for La Raza. Okay, you don't think that this woman is going to be for, it's not going to quote unquote abolish the borders at first, but it's going to basically amalgamate our three governments. All right, that's the problem. We'll have our localized governments, but they'll mean less and less, and we'll have to give over our sovereign bodies more and more to international law. In other words, we'll have to compromise with Canada's government and their policies because there's going to be a lot more inter-travel and a lot more trade. So we're going to have to, bow down to their policies. And at the same end, we're going to have to do the same thing with Mexico. They really want to bring us down to a second world nation of slaves. I mean, oh, man, it drives me nuts, and I don't understand how people can't get it when they look at all the actual evidence. The Securities and Prosperities Partnership has as much to do with Canada as it does to Mexico. These are 4 superhighways that they want to rip through the United States of America. And go ahead.
They've stated that there's differences between the Mexican situation and the Canadian situation, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yes, obviously.
But that they want to treat everything the same. Now, I just wanted to mention a couple of the things that have been put into place there, because I think when I heard this, it's one big step towards the North American Union here. They're trying to erase the borders. The first thing is it allows emergency vehicles, which includes police, workers, equipment, things like that, to cross the border more quickly during an emergency. Mm-hmm. They just go across. They announced that in the case of an emergency, there can be no closing of the border at all.
Wow.
This goes both ways. What they're doing is the border guards are going to be integrated. So you'll have Canadian uniformed and American uniformed border agents. Mm-hmm. And Canadian agents can now carry firearms, which is a new thing they've been going for years. And they're going to work on both sides of the border. So Canadian will have U.S. workers, and U.S. site will have Canadian workers in their own uniforms.
Yeah, man, it's totally bringing in. I've said this is what Obama's deal is. He's going to bring in the North American Union. You know what? Bring up the clip of Obama not pledging allegiance to the flag. Basically, as much as deplorable as Hillary Clinton is, I thank you for the call, sir. And who's the other one there? Bill Richardson. Hillary Clinton and Bill Richardson at least put their hand on their chest. Even when I have a hat on and I'm at a ball game, I take the hat off and I do put it on my chest. I may be disgusted. Let's play the audio so people understand that, it's really I'm the president of the United States. I don't need to put my hand on my chest. Yeah, because he doesn't believe in this country. He's an internationalist, folks. That's why they propped him up. That's what no one's telling you. Oh, he's a socialist. He's a Democrat. He's a dirty liberal. No. I know it's awful. All right, turn it off. People are getting it. He's not gonna do it. He's here to bring in the North American Union. Jaron really loved that. He's got bells on over there now. All right, let's go to Mike in Hawaii. Mike, you're on the line.
Hi, how's it going? I had a question about flu vaccinations this year.
Sure.
Hey, I'm active duty military, and
I wouldn't take it, dude. Listen. Here's the deal. I know they're going to offer it for you, or they're going to say it's mandatory. Look, the bottom line is I would bring in the article that just came out. The Mayo Clinic in Minnesota just did a study. You hear about this yet?
A little bit.
I mean, basically they said if you take the flu shot, you are 3 times more likely to get the flu. All right? And you're more likely to develop some kind of a other illness. I mean, why would you take something that's going to make you 3 times more likely to get that disease? It's insanity to me. And then you look at this, and who knows what you're going to have to do with the swine flu vaccination if they make that mandatory. You're military, You're probably going to be the guinea pigs for that. Yeah, go ahead.
I've already been bringing it up, just kind of telling my command already, like, hey, this stuff's bad. Just kind of loose talk around the shop. And I'm saying, look, I don't want to take this, but it's mandatory. You'll get Article 15, you'll get court martial, jail time, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I'm sitting there like, man, I don't know.
They do put you between a rock and a hard place, but all right. I mean, look, the flu, who knows what else the regular flu vaccine has in it. Maybe it'll even make you more susceptible to this new, H1N1, pig flu, avian flu. It really is part avian flu. So I don't understand, why I do understand why they're calling it swine flu. They're trying to repackage something, and it's got human flu in it. So, you know what, man? I mean, what's more important, your life or your job? And I know that's a really crappy thing to say, and especially when you're in the military and there's so much indoctrination and so much respect lost by your peers if you were to do something like that. But like I said, get that article about the Mayo Clinic. Maybe you should put the print it out off the internet. Print off the article about Baxter sending out, to 14 separate countries, live bird flu that killed the subjects. I mean, it's bad news, Brown. I don't know what else to tell you because I'm not in your situation. I thank you for the call, Mike. Sean in Utah, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Good to talk to you, Jason.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to turn the speaker off. Have you seen the documentary film, The Soviet Story?